Okay, let's watch this one. How Gen Z is quietly changing the world. Now, every generation believes that they're special, and every generation believes that they're going to change the world. And I might have some bias, of course, because I am 26 years old and I am in Gen Z. But I truly believe that my generation could either make or break the future of humanity. I know that sounds very far fetched, right? And like I said before, everyone has their own personal biases. My bad, right? Obviously, since I am part of Gen Z, everyone believes their generation is the best or important, and every generation did do good and bad things throughout the history of humankind. But I truly do believe that Gen Z has the potential to do great things, amazing things, even to change the course of humankind forever. Okay, anyways.
I looked it up, and the term Gen Z refers to any individual born between the years 1997
and 2012.
And 2012.
Yep.
It's the generation after millennials, but before Gen Alpha, and it's the generation that I'm a part of, being born in July of 2006.
Damn, the motherfucker's young. 6 years younger? Oh, he's 20. He'll be 20, huh?
Gen Z today gets a lot of flack online for being supposedly lazy, or unmotivated, or difficult to work with. We're called spoiled and ungrateful and disrespectful to positions of authority. With the majority of Gen Z still living at home, a dwindling percentage of us planning to have kids,
and the thing is, all this is right. It is. And when I say Gen Z is difficult to work with, right? Obviously, this is a generalization, right? It's not, it doesn't mean every single individual in Gen Z is difficult to work with. But it goes to show that why is it? Is it because, number one, the old ways of doing things don't apply to us, or we just don't want to abide by those old laws or old rules, which, people don't like change. But sometimes change is needed to make the world or the work environment a better place, right? There are old rules and old laws that have been implemented by generations before us, right? And of course, the same thing, when we grow older, we're gonna have, we're gonna place our own rules and laws, and the generations, after us, they're gonna also be, how should I say it, combative. There you go.
You see, in America today, but more broadly in the world at large, I think we're witnessing a movement begin to form, a revolution of sorts among the younger generations, a silent revolution, which, in its own way, is slowly but surely transforming the world forever. To understand what I mean, it's worth noting that Gen Z was the first generation to have grown up entirely alongside the internet. Millennials discovered it later in life, many of them using it as much as we do now, but Gen Z genuinely was raised within a social memory complex of...
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Millennials were the first one to start it, right? You got MySpace. I think MySpace was more of a younger millennial thing. And then Facebook was also millennial plus Gen Z as well. And then Instagram came over, right? We got Vine, Instagram, all that. Facebook, of course. Facebook, right? And then, of course, TikTok. And now Gen Alpha would be the brain rot generation, right? You got the the scrolling, doom scrolling, all that stuff. I mean, even though every single person, every generation today in modern society is affected, right? You got the Gen Alpha kids growing up on that, which is horrible. And currently now, in 2026, is Gen Beta. I would hate to be born in Gen Beta, but I wonder what their generation is going to be like.
Gen Z grew up as a part of a globally connected society, where race or nationality and language made less of an impact on our ability to connect with people and explore the many perspectives of our world. As a curious young kid, growing up in old school Call of Duty lobbies, I used to sit and talk to grown men, fathers with children, who told me about their life sometimes. They would tell me about their divorce, how their job sucked, how rough their alcoholism was. In a way, I was treated like a...
Really? Huh. I had a whole different experience. I mean, if you were there, you're there. The golden age of Call of Duty, man. The golden age of Call of Duty was amazing, bro. You got Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 5, World at War, Call of Duty 6, right? We got was Modern Warfare 2. Then we got Black Ops. Well, no, yeah, it was Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. And of course, after Black Ops 2 was Ghost. Ghost was cool, but I don't consider that part of the golden age. Golden age with those 6 Call of Duty games, right, in a row. But yeah, obviously, that's the first time I played Call of Duty as well. And then every time I tried talking in the lobby, obviously my voice was super high pitched. I was a kid back then, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Black Ops 2, I was 11 or 12, I think. Anyways, I had a high ass voice, so every time I tried to talk in the lobby, they had COD in 1960s. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, like I said, man, and I will talk. And obviously we have the old school Call of Duty lobbies where I got absolutely cyberbullied. So yeah.
When a population of young men feel disenfranchised and abandoned, while at the same time aligned on what's important and how they can work together, a lot begins to change.
That's true.
The way our economy in the US is nowadays means nobody expects my generation to get Social Security. We all know we're paying into a welfare system we'll never get to see.
That's also true. I've also had but I thought I would oh my I've also had that that question as well, because obviously we're paying for Social Security, right? And I believe that Gen Z shouldn't pay for Social Security, because why should we, right? Because the thing is, we're not gonna get it, right? Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You always correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to learn. But from what I understand is Gen Z and and even younger millennials as well, and definitely Gen Alpha, right? We're not gonna get Social Security. So why in the hell should I have to pay a part of my taxes for Social Security for the the older generation now? I don't want to sound mean, right? I don't. But the thing is, why should I and people in my age or my generation have to pay our taxes for the older generation today? Look, man, I don't want to be mean. No disrespect. I don't care about you. Okay? You're telling me that I have to, right, pay for a system that I won't benefit from, right? Not just me, people in my generation. You're telling us collectively, all of us need to pay taxes. It's not a lot, right? Don't get me wrong. It's not too much, right? But regardless, it's still money out of my paycheck, right? Taxes in itself is a whole different conversation. But let's just focus on Social Security for now. You're telling me that I had to, a small portion, still a portion of my pay needs to go to these old people today, and in a system that I will never benefit from, right? So what I don't understand is, of course, number one, the first comment will always be, oh, just make more money, which is, I agree. I do agree with that. Just make more money, right? Figure it out. I do agree with that, right? But most people won't be able to do that. Most people are going to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life.
The housing market is inflated and manipulated by these massive corporations.
Also that Vanguard, State Street, Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. They say they don't, right? There's a whole thing about buying these huge asset managers like Vanguard and BlackRock, buying up these single family resident homes, right? Artificially inflating the markets, right? The real estate market, which is making it harder for young people now to buy homes, because all these homeowners, right, more specifically the baby boomers, right, they bought their their homes back in the 70s, right, 70s and 80s for a bag of chips, right? And now instead of selling it to a younger family or younger people or younger individuals or a young family or a young couple, trying to start a family, they would rather sell it to Vanguard and State Street and BlackRock, these huge asset managers, right? BlackRock, they have trillions of dollars of assets managed under them, and of course they could afford it because they have trillions of dollars of assets under their management, so they could definitely afford these houses, right? These single family residents.
As the national debt continues to rise, we live under this constant fear of nuclear war, and our society becomes degraded in a million tiny, unrecognizable ways.
By the way, Chad, the whole World War III nuclear war thing, I really don't care about that. Only reason being is because if that happens, right, we have MAD, right? MAD is an acronym: mutually assured destruction. Right? So if nuclear war does happen and the world does end, I don't think you should be worried because we're all gonna die. Right? Obviously, I don't want World War III to happen. I don't want a mutually assured destruction event to happen. But if it does happen, I don't think we should be too scared, right? Because I would rather want to die in that, in the genesis of that, rather than survive and then have to deal with the fallout. And modern society is completely cooked, right? So I would rather just die in the first blast.
Are you serious right now, bro? Like, are you serious right now?
Will happen or how it will be done, but I do believe that if there is any hope for the momentum of our society to reverse, it will be done by this generation.
Oh, for sure, I agree.
By young men stepping up and becoming leaders, getting over their vices and influencing the collective for the greater good.
True.
By young women freeing themselves from the shackles of superficiality and status and growing into the mothers and mentors they're meant to be. It has been said online as a common refrain:
hard times create strong men.
Strong men
create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Yes, it's a common.
These are the good times turning bad. Thus, to end off this video, I'd like to just say, no, you are not alone in feeling this way. The economy does suck for young people. Housing is unaffordable, and so is groceries. Our food is trash, and it is making us sick. The dating market is terrible and invalidates human connection. Our society.
Yeah, I mean, dating apps, that's a whole other situation, and modern dating is a whole other, a whole other topic that we could go on and on about, right? With social media, dating apps, people are just numbers and pictures to swipe over, and instead of, trying to build a genuine human emotional connection, right? Whoever's goal that was to make dating into a simple game, well, it worked, right? It worked, and they're making billions off of that, right? So whoever you are or whoever group you are, congratulations, you just ruined dating for a whole generation or two, but you pocketed money off that, right? You won.
Society is polarized and radical in a way more pronounced than ever, and you aren't wrong for the way you're feeling or the direction you've been going in. That being said, no matter the circumstance of the time, we make do. We fight like hell. We carve out the world that we desire, just like our ancestors before us. So what? It's hard. It's always been hard. Hard is good. Hard is what you need sometimes.
Exactly. Every morning wood. Let's go. Hard. Stay hard. David Goggins, stay hard, guys. Come on.
Become the person you're meant to be. You are important. You can play a role, and you are far more powerful than you've been led to believe.
Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes morning wood. Anyways, that was actually really great. I want to subscribe to that guy. This is a great. Who the hell would dislike a video like this? Oh, I know who it was. Those same baby boomers who sold their freaking house to BlackRock for $2.5 million instead of a young family for $1 million. That was a joke. I'm sorry.